Hello and welcome to part 4 of this expedition. In this part we'll be going through the milestones of phase 4. For the Relic Hunter milestone we need to find an artifact from a dig site. So let's start out by getting an artifact shard from the space station. Now that we have the shard, let's go back to the planet and reveal the dig site. After a short flight we've reached the site, so let's start digging. First we need to dig up the 3 keys, and then we can dig up the artifact itself. Let's see what we get. Looks like we got some ancient seeds. Let me know in the comments which artifacts you got. For the Fallen Giants milestone we need to find the sunken freighter. To do this we need to make the submarine, which was a reward for the previous milestone, and we need to install a scanner on it. I warped back to my original base, which was next to the water, and made the exocraft there. Before we can make the scanner we first need to get some extra items. The crystal sulfide you can find underwater with the scanner. Just be careful to not get caught up in the eruption after picking it up. For the solar mirror you need silver, gold and metal. Since they were in my ship I went back there to craft it. Now that we have the items, you can go back to the submarine and use the scanner to reveal the sunken freighter. It was quite far away, so I had to take my ship and fly over there. Now that we're here, we need to read the log. Third milestone is to get a Sentinel interceptor ship. To do this, we need to use the AI carrier fragment we got from a previous milestone. Now that it has revealed the location, let's warp to that system. To restore the ship, we need to do the usual stuff. First need to collect 3 radiant shards. Then using the scanner find and get the inverted mirror. We also need to fix the brain to use it on the ship. So we need to probe the brain to reveal the location of a monolith. Once we're there, we can present it to the monolith. Now that we have everything, let's go back to the ship and repair it. To get the milestone, we also need to get rid of the sentinels, so let's make a quick stop at the space anomaly. For the next milestone, we need to defeat 15 sentinels. It's a bit of a shame because in the previous one we were constantly being chased by sentinels, so I went back to the previous planet. For some of the larger targets it's easier to use the ship. Now that we've defeated enough sentinels, let's make a tactical retreat to the freighter. For the Palate Cleanser milestone, we need to gather some ingredients to make some cookies. Quite a change of pace from the previous milestones. So I went to a bit nicer planet where we could collect wheat and beetroot, and you can locate them with the scanner. Now that we have the base ingredients, we need to process them in the nutrient processor. First up is processing the sweet root into sugar. Next up is processing the wheat into flour. Step 3 is to process the flour and the sugar into sugar dough. You can make the sourdough into a simple cookie, or you can add ingredients to make more interesting ones. I like how this makes a questionable cookie. But maybe let's go with something more reasonable. A salty cruncher sounds nice. Now we need to make the next memory, but before we can do that we need to gather some resources. We need ionized cobalt, so let's put some regular cobalt into the refiner. We also need some cadmium, so let's go to a red system. The hyperdrive to get to those you get from a previous milestone. That should be enough, so let's craft the memory now. Like usual, we activate the memory in space and then use the hyperdrive to get to it. And finally, to complete this phase, we go to Rendezvous Point 4. And that's it for part 4. That quite some long but also some interesting milestones.